So on screen, you should be seeing another time lapse of what I worked on. Mainly the graphics, but I also added the icon and the splash. Everything is not finalized yet because there's still obviously placeholder text, as you'll see in a moment. But as we get into this run here, yeah, more template stuff. So without further ado, I think I primarily used one event, if I recall my own work in the past 24 hours. And then I proceeded to, let's actually play with Ico in this run, because I want to play Ico, even though I've been playing a lot of Ico. But I forgot what old god I was on. Anywho. Forgot what I was talking about. Oh my goodness, I'm going absolutely crazy. But I do know I'm on scars, which will help me out somewhat, but we're going to purposely not save the researcher here. So, as we get into, I'm just going to say Katarufu, as we get into, for timestamp's sake, Katarufu, Scars, Ico, I probably should have switched the other settings around, but yeah, I used one event, and then I pretty much just used a bunch of the art and drafts that I had that I wasn't quite satisfied with for the use of this mystery. So, as we get second encounter, second mystery, dexterity, Takushi-san, charisma, and maybe the knowledge check, you'll see the splash screen in a moment, and then you'll also see the end mystery screen, which, again, it's not finalized. There's still placeholder text, so I need to make sure I know what I'm doing. Again, template is not supposed to be the most in-depth mystery, both lore and gameplay-wise, but obviously I do want to still complete the mystery. So, Scissors, Ward, Vigil, Template, and Akamanto. That's possibly a lot of boss encounters. So, but we will take template first. If for no other reason, then it's an in-town mystery. Also, I skipped the splash screen for whatever reason. I guess I'll show you it at the end. But, yeah, we'll grab the plush toy, we'll do Ico things, and then off we'll go. Also, I did correct, if I mentioned in the past that variables cannot hold a textualized comma, and I'll just have to leave it at that because, yeah, that's the best way I can explain it at the moment. Then, we do have Ward, by the way. Then I'd like to correct that statement, as I'll show you in a moment, if I actually fail. Also, we have Blood Frenzy, so time to just go kick Ico. But, the other thing I wanted to mention is that I think I made a few also graphical changes to some of the events. One example is, if we can reach it, and that's not it. Oh no! The plush toy lowered my luck. Oh, how would I have passed the 12? How is it that, like, every time I'm expecting it, or not expecting it, but I happen to use the plush toy like that, I roll like a 9+ on luck. Like, oh, no. Well, this is a good thing because I wanted to test this out. I could just force this to be a failure or a story event for the purposes of testing. But, I mean, as you make your small steps towards completing a mystery, you do want to playtest as you have things working as intended. Now, again, there are some things that doesn't work for as practically in terms of playtesting. For example, if you have an effect that procs on 5%, then you don't want to just keep going and hoping on 5%. So at a certain point, you have to decide what you want to test and what you would trust in once you have, like, guaranteed certain tests, like you make a 5%, 100%, just for the purposes of seeing an effect, and then you switch it back to 5%. Anyway, here's what I want to talk about. That's why I stopped here. So you'll notice in the last videos, it just says no. That's because of the comment here. If you put a comma in most textualized variables or string variables, in this specific case, PERM custom content, you need to add I forget which slash it is. One of the slashes, the / or the backslash, the one above the enter button. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. But otherwise, basically everything after this line that I'm clicking on, or did you ? In case the text is too small for you on screen, is variable. So I put, no, you didn't, that's a shame. Matsui-san shakes his head. Then it could be anywhere with all these symbols in one variable. And then I just threw it out in the middle of this story. For those who don't know, custom content, PERM specifically, code. But the other things to mention, again, are just the graphics that I'm slowly working on. Again, all the text after this point is pretty much still template, as will be quite obvious in a moment, but I did want to work on some thingamajiggies. I blurbed my words there because I was like, oh, I'm going to pass this dexterity check. I rolled an 8 + 2 modifier. So, I want to say it again for the record. I want to say it again for the record. If you introduce any RNG aspects in whatever content, whether it's World of War or any other game, just expect me to fail it more frequently than you'd think. So, we're just going to save ourselves here just to show, and this is the graphic. Again, this is pretty much what you saw at the very beginning of the video. This background here is a modified version of the template image that you get if you don't put an image in. I always forget if a template image is provided if you don't provide an image yourself, or if that's a PERM specific thing. I apologize, I just forget things a lot. And yeah, as this, even the name of this boss is a template as well. But if you notice from the last episodes with this boss, with different decisions and depending on your how well you do with basically being lucky, the boss's HP will essentially change. I didn't decide to change the damage. I might have tweaked the power here and there. I might still tweak the power, but definitely the HP should be different, just to give you a choice. Now, before, I think if you try to save the researcher there, but you, for some whatever reason, fail, I think you still get ending A, but I did, I think you take stamina damage if I left it as is, and then I did something else. Hold on, I need to actually focus for a moment, because I'm about to die. But basically, you're still fighting a boss. You're going to fight a boss no matter what in this mystery. How easy the boss is, at least HP-wise, is a different story. So, this is actually 5 HP per. If I don't hit all of them, I mean, I guess that'll be a short video. Even though I usually have a soft rule of not, you know, ending a video. RNG says otherwise! Oh, but I didn't show you the splash screen, so I'll show you the splash screen really quickly. So, yeah, this is the... Future Jordan should add something here. Also, I was playing on Ico with scars. Yes, we had Blood Frenzy, but that's no excuse. I guess some reflection on basically your base World of Horror advice for the day is, didn't bring a weapon, got punished for it heavily. But if I had a weapon, I would have gotten out, like, near guaranteed. There's very little that boss could do. If I wanted to make it more certain, I would have rested before the end there, but I thought Aiko, being as she is, would be enough. But no, 36 plus HP is a lot to chew through. So, yeah, not really much else to say there. But if for whatever reason you need to dodge ending A, I suppose, you could theoretically purposely fail. I know it doesn't look like I give you a lot of incentive to fail, but I mean, gameplay-wise, nothing really happens if you don't get ending A, or if you take ending A and fail the check. Oh no, you take a few stamina, but say you're on Knight Errant. Yeah, I really flubbed my words for a moment there. But so you might be asking, well, why not save them at all? Well, I mean, just why not save? Why choose to avoid saving the researcher at all? And to that, I say, I mean, ethical reasons. But really, it's if nothing else, it's a knowledge check. But really, just to present you the choice and let you do as you do. If you want a harder boss for whatever reason and not take ending A, sure. But there are some few moments, aside from knowledge check and, you know, making the player feel ethically bad, where, you know, just punish the player for no reason. Now, you shouldn't do that. That should be like 5% if at most of the time. But normally, as I may have mentioned it before, but I think I still stand by it. It's, yeah, you really should not punish the player for no reason. But in this case, you do have future, or sorry, what do I want to say? Player error in just, like, choosing not to save the researcher at all. Why would you do that? So, you don't get ending A, you don't get anything else. So, as I show you this screen, it's really basic. It's not actually modified. I literally just drew all this all out within, like, 30 minutes. It's not great looking. I could add more detail here and there, but it's perfectly fine. So, off we go. And yeah, just to give you a good look at the splash screen. If you notice, this is just Matsui-san from the event. This is just the boss modified with the palette. The background here is the background to the final event, linked event. And this is the dumpster enlarged by 2 times. Although you have to be careful because with GIMP, or at least what I'm using, or just conceptually, you can't... what's it called? I'm actually going to take a look at it now as we end this video here. But you can't you can't use any interpolation. So you can't use linear, cubic, or anything above. You literally have to set it to none. That way all the pixels stay sharp is the best way I can put it. But yeah, not really much else to say here. That was just a bonus part of the video just to show you what I was working on. And I should be done with template in the next 2 episodes. And that will be the end of the series. I'll figure out what to do afterward. But yeah, not going to take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching. If you want to say anything, ask any questions, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!